Thank you, Colleen. And I'm Karla, and I am from the First Congregational Church in Hendersonville. And we've been a WISE congregation since before I was pastor there. I want to say 2017, but I don't know. But let's take a moment now to invite God into the room and into our spaces in a moment of silence. Holy One, bring us from getting here to being here fully with you and one another in this space. Amen. Omid Safi is a professor of Islamic studies, and I think he's at Duke right now. In 2011, he went on a pilgrimage on the 738th anniversary of Rumi's death. Rumi, if you don't know, was a Sufi poet and a spiritual teacher, and millions of people around the world are still touched by his teachings. But Safi talks about his pilgrimage experience, and I want to share a little bit about that with you. He writes, "A few days ago, I stood with a few thousand people huddled inside Rumi's shrine. On most times of every day, you find at least 50 people, but on this day, there were a few thousand people packed inside. We kept looking around us as more and more waves of loving pilgrims arrived, and each time we thought the shrine was as packed as it could possibly get, more would fit in. As a parent, it reminded me of when my children were born. After my first daughter was born, I felt I had discovered a love like I had never known before. It was a pure and holy love that took over my whole heart. And so when we became pregnant with our next child, I was actually concerned about how I would love another child to the same extent. And yet, something miraculous happened when my son was born. As soon as I first laid eyes on him, my heart was expanding, and I loved each of my children fully, completely, and equally. And this is what Rumi's shrine felt like that day. It had become a representation of the heart. The shrine kept expanding and expanding to take in more and more people. And it was a palpable lesson that we as humans are capable of growth, of becoming much more than we thought, and taking so many in our hearts if we dare. Above the entrance to Rumi's shrine, there's a poem. This place is like the Kaaba for lovers. All come here broken and incomplete, and all live whole. All leave whole. The poem is a reminder that all that is required to be on the spiritual path is the desire to be close to God. One does not set out on the path because one is already beautiful, but because one wants to become beautiful. Rumi had once said that the whole of his life could be summed up in 3 phrases. I used to be raw, then I was cooked, and now I am on fire. God willing, those who were there and those whose hearts were drawn there came away a bit more cooked, a bit sweeter than before. And as many pilgrims were leaving Konya, they kept wishing to each other, Ashik Olsen, may it become love. And what they were saying with that simple phrase was, may this experience become transformed inside your consciousness into something that makes you aware of the pervasive and overwhelming nature of divine love. Ashik Olsen literally means, may it become love. Dear friends, we are in the season of Lent, of holy pilgrimage with Jesus, within ourselves and even in the world. Today, these 3 hours are part of our Lenten pilgrimage, and I invite you to make this a holy virtual space for yourselves. As we are together, may our hearts be enlarged to encompass one another into community. And may each of us become more beautiful as we journey through these minutes and moments. And maybe, may we go away a bit more cooked and a bit sweeter than before. Ashik Olsen, may this experience this morning become transformed inside you so you are more deeply aware of how beloved you are. How beloved you are by the one who created you and this world. Ashik Olsen, may it become love. Would you pray with me? Holy One, we have invited you into this space. And now we ask you to walk with us on this path this morning. May we know ourselves more intimately and you more intimately by this experience. Ashik Olsen, may it become love. Amen.